Hey there, and welcome to Awaken to Your Soul. My name is Jenny, and today is our first Q&A video. So, just like I said, every week I'm going to take the questions that have come up during the week off of the videos that I've posted and compile them into a Q&A video. And just in this last week, we had 2 questions, so I wanted to thank you guys first and foremost for taking the time out of your busy day, for watching my videos, for liking and subscribing. So much blessings and appreciation and gratitude to you, because I know there's a lot of other things you could be doing with your time, a lot of other videos you could be watching, so much appreciation that you take the time to spend the few minutes with me every day that you do. All right, so I don't normally read, but because these are questions that have been submitted to me, you're gonna see me reading, but it's just because I want to make sure that I get the questions right. So one of the questions was submitted to me through Messenger, which tells me that this person would kind of like to stay anonymous, which is totally fine. But one thing I do want to say before we dive into these questions and then give my answer, but it doesn't mean that it is the absolute right answer, is I want to just say the importance of asking questions. It goes back to the whole discernment thing, right? So when we ask questions, it's not being rude, it's not being disrespectful. Myself being a martial arts instructor, my goodness, if I could even talk, my biggest way that I love teaching is by asking my students questions. And there are ways that you can ask questions to get answers that are very open-minded. You can ask questions in a very respectful way, because honestly, asking questions is how we learn different aspects of a situation, of information. If we just take the information that we're given for face value as absolute truth, then as I've said in prior videos, we're doing ourselves a big disservice, because there's so many different facets to a piece of information that if we don't ask questions, those will never be seen. Another important point to asking questions is it's scary to put yourself out there and ask questions. A lot of times we feel we're going to be judged if we ask a question. Oh, you asked a question, how do you not know? Or, whatever the case may be. But asking questions, when you gather up enough courage, in a classroom setting, to raise your hand and ask a question, you're giving a voice to at least 10 other people that didn't have enough courage to raise their hand and ask a question. And so I guarantee the question that you come up with, many other people actually have that exact same question. So kudos to you guys for submitting questions. I really encourage you to submit as many possible questions as you can. I will kind of answer them in the comments, but I'll go more in depth here in the video. So without further ado, the first question was posted, like I said, through Messenger. It says, how do you get everything you want if there is so much in the way? No matter how hard you try to clear it, what you want may move and continue to be blocked by more stuff. Wow, that is a really great question. It's and I guarantee so many of us experience that. And so this is an interesting question, because the answer is rather deep, and I don't want this video to be so incredibly long. I'm going to try and keep it a little bit shorter. Shorter. I don't want it to go for hours. But basically what happens is, as humans, we have this thing called ego, and I don't really want to get into definition of all these different things, but the ego is part of ourselves that kind of is the voice in our head that tells us what we think we want, that gives us a lot of limiting beliefs, or is the voice of limiting belief in our head. It's the fear factor that causes us to not want to step into new opportunities. Oh, this is a great opportunity. Oh no, but you can't do it, I'm too scared. At the same time, there's certain things that we as humans just want. And because it seems like this amazing thing, the ego is like, yeah, this is awesome. All you have to do is remove this block and it'll be yours. Okay. It doesn't work like that. Okay. So there's this phrase that I like to say. There is our plan, and then there is the grand plan or the universal plan. So I could say, man, I want to be Queen of England. Well, you can tell by the accent, first and foremost, I'm not English. I am not a descendant of the Queen, so I'm not going to become Queen of England. I could clear all the blocks to make it so I'm next in line. No, I couldn't do that. But the thing of it is we need to kind of be very realistic, and in what we set our aspirations to is what we're trying to obtain in alignment with who we are. Is it something that we truly want? Is it something that we genuinely vibrate with? Or is it something that we want to have, but it's not necessarily something that serves us, and it's not written into our soul contract? Ooh, soul contract, what is that all about? Okay, so we're not to S's yet, so I'll get to soul contract then. But basically, in a very small nutshell, soul contract is the script that we lay out prior to being incarnated in as human in this lifetime, of the certain experiences we want to have, the certain lessons we want to learn, the human experience that our soul being wants to have. And so if we feel that what we want is genuinely in line with who we are, but no matter what we do, it keeps moving further and further away from us, then chances are the blocks that you're moving out of the way to get to it are not necessarily the blocks that need to be moved. The blocks are generally the lessons that we need to learn. When we identify a lesson and then we are able to, so awareness is power. Figure out that, hey, this is something I need to actually pay attention to. This is a lesson I need to learn, and then I need to release and heal from. Once you're able to take this karmic lesson that you get stuck in this loop with, you come into this lifetime wanting to experience heartache. Well, who wants to experience that? I mean, this can be a rabbit hole of a discussion, and I don't want to go there. But if what happens is we have these same lessons and they play over and over in our life, and until we can, and what I mean by over and over, it's like the same lesson, but a different setting and different characters. Same lesson. Maybe it happened with our parents in childhood, and then a school crush when we were in like high school, and then it happened in a relationship, and then in a marriage. It happens within relationships that we have with coworkers or bosses or friends. And it's this lesson, it's like the same thing where maybe we experience people not being true to us, or, I mean, there's so many different things. It's the same lesson, but it's played out in different settings, different plots, different characters. Until we can learn the lesson, we're never going to, we'll always continue playing this same thing over and over again. Once we learn the lesson, then we break the loop, and then it's no longer a thing. Then we can heal and let it go. And now we're one step closer to what it is that we are truly wanting to get, what we feel that we are in line with. So what I would suggest to you, friend who posted this question, is to do some meditation, do some really deep diving into yourself, and figure out, is this something that is truly in line with who I am, truly in line with what I want? Or do I want it because society says I want it? Do I want it because I think that's what I want, but I'm not really sure? Once you figure out if it's truly within yourself, what is it that's really blocking you? Identify those blocks and then work on releasing it. And as videos come out, I'll give you more tools on what you can do to release it. You can always talk with me. I help people one-on-one basis to identify these blocks, and we work together utilizing different tools to release it so that you can step into your authentic self in life. Okay, that was question 1. Question 2. This one was actually in the YouTube comments. I think it was on the video, the connection video. Anyway, so it says internally, the connection to the higher self is something that most people miss. But for those who seek out connections externally with others, how do they know that those connections are genuine? Wow, that too is a really good question. Okay, so I think I talk a little bit about it in the connection video, but genuine connections, it's kind of like hindsight. You see everything that you wish you would have seen at the very beginning. Once you have gone through the situation of making an external connection, and now that relationship, be it friend or significant other, has ended, you can look back on it and be like, man, I see all these things now. Why didn't I see them in the beginning? Well, because in the beginning, you were a much different person than you are now. Now, one of the things that we as humans do that we don't really even realize we're doing is we so often are not tapped into our inner connection, knowing who we truly are within ourselves, our genuine selves. We're scared. That's a pretty deep connection to make, and it's so much easier to make external connections than it is to be able to dive within yourself and make internal connections. There's that saying that if you're truly happy, then you can spend the entire day or week or month or live by yourself, and be totally fine. And it's the people that can't spend time alone are the ones that truly need to work on themselves and build that connection with themselves. So how do you know when external connections are genuine? You need to start within yourself. You need to make sure that your connection within yourself is genuine, that you're not changing who you are as a person in order to make a connection with somebody else for them to like you, for them to give you validation for being here, for taking up space, for breathing air. You need to make sure you're not changing who you are to feel worthy by somebody else. If it's a romantic relationship, don't change who you are to feel worthy of gaining love from somebody else, okay? When you do that, you no longer know what genuine is. You know that you're changing who you are, and this is all subconscious. We're not even like consciously making these decisions. That's why it's hard, okay? But when we make these choices to change who we are, to gain validation from somebody else, we're no longer moving from a genuine point within ourselves. So then to see the authentic, genuine connection in another person, you can't see that because you put blinders up to what genuine is. So this is where you listen to yourself. This is where you dive within, gain that connection to yourself. Okay, what if you're in the process of doing that? Because this takes a little bit of time. This takes a little bit more than a little bit of time. You have emotions, and this is discussed during the emotions, the energy and emotions video, okay? Listening to your body and your energy does not lie. So how do you know if a person is genuine? How do you know if a connection with a person is genuine? How do you feel when you get around them? Do you get a weird feeling in your gut? Do you feel like you have to pretend to be somebody that you are not? Do you feel like you have to do or say things that you wouldn't normally do when you're around like your best friend? How about your friends? Your best friends. What do they think about that person? Because you're genuine around your best friend. Your best friend knows you probably better than you know yourself. So I'm not saying that you always have to listen to other people and their opinions about relationships or connections you're trying to make with someone, but if you're questioning it yourself and you're just really not sure, getting an opinion from a very, somebody that you trust can be very helpful. Listen to your body, listen to your gut, pay attention to how your body's feeling when you're around this person. Do you feel anxious? Do you feel like you want to run? Do you feel like you're uptight? Do you feel like you're saying sorry a lot or apologizing for who you are? These are all indicators that it's not a genuine connection, or you're connecting with somebody that's not a genuine person, that is wearing a mask. And guys, most of us do wear a mask when we first meet somebody. Anymore, it's rare that we don't, but we're going in that direction of learning who we are, so we don't have to wear a mask. Because really, guys, when it comes down to it, once we love who we are and we love ourselves and we have that connection within ourselves to know who we genuinely are, once we have that genuine unconditional love for ourselves, the right people are going to come to us, the people that reflect who we are. So it's not like you have to go out and find it. Once you are vibrating at that level of genuine energy to who you are, the people that vibrate at that same level, we're magnetic beings, right, will come to you, and you guys are going to make connections. So it's more like, try not to focus so much about worrying about reaching out and finding that right person. Go within, do the work within yourself, figure out who you are on a genuine level, and then be open to new things, to trying new things, to interacting with people. Use your discernment. There's that discernment word again, but it's so important. It's not like, oh, always questioning, always feeling like you have to second guess yourself. That's not what it is. It's just, calling a spade a spade. If something doesn't feel right, pay attention to that. So I hope this helps. I really appreciate the questions this week. If this video inspired any further questions, please drop them in the comments below. Nothing wrong with questions. I love questions. So my question to you, sure, why not? It's a Q&A video. My question to you this week, what are you going to do to create a deeper connection within yourself, with who you truly are? That's my question to you. Thank you guys so much for spending the time with me today. Much gratitude and appreciation to you for liking and subscribing. Please share the videos, and I will chat with you soon. Have a wonderful rest of your day.